Imagine waking up tomorrow, not in your bed, but in the middle of a humid prehistoric jungle. No cities, no electricity, no Wi-Fi, just raw, ancient earth. A low, distant roar, not like a lion, deeper, heavier. The kind of sound that makes your insides clench before your brain even catches up. You've somehow traveled 150 million years back in time. Welcome to the Jurassic Period. So, here's the question. How long would you survive? Let's be honest, probably not very long. But let's walk through what your experience might actually look like.
Why are you running?
First things first, the air. You take your first breath and it actually feels different. Not better, not worse, just different. That's because oxygen levels were slightly higher during the Jurassic than they are today, which might make you feel strangely energetic at first. But don't get too comfortable, because everything else around you is actively trying to kill you. The first big problem, you have absolutely nothing. No shoes, no tools, no phone, you're just you, in the wild. And this isn't like being dropped in a forest in Canada or the Amazon. This is a completely alien ecosystem, one that hasn't seen a human or even a mammal your size ever. You look around. Massive ferns, giant conifer trees, strange insects buzzing through the air. It's quiet, but unsettlingly so. Every sound makes you flinch. You hear a distant roar and your survival instincts kick in. You realize you're not at the top of the food chain here. Let's talk predators. The Jurassic period was dominated by dinosaurs like Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus, and the massive, long-necked sauropods like Brachiosaurus and Diplodocus. While some of them were herbivores, they could still easily trample you without noticing. And the carnivores? Well, they'd absolutely notice you. You might think, well, I could just hide in the trees. Good luck with that. First, the trees are nothing like today's. There were no flowering plants, no fruit, just conifers, ferns, and cycads. Not only would you have trouble finding anything edible, but climbing one of these prehistoric trees isn't as easy as you'd think. And even if you made it up, some of the predators, like certain raptor species, could probably follow you. Speaking of food, what would you even eat? There are no apples, no grains, no vegetables as we know them. Most plants around you are inedible to humans or toxic. And even if you somehow managed to find something remotely edible, it would take some serious trial and error, not to mention a few unfortunate stomach aches, to figure out what's safe. And water? Sure, you might find a stream. But guess what? It's full of bacteria and parasites your immune system has never encountered before. One sip and you're rolling on the ground with intense stomach cramps, possibly dead in a few days. Not exactly ideal. So now, let's assume you've miraculously survived your first day. You're tired, hungry, and increasingly aware that night is falling. That's when things get worse. In the modern world, darkness usually means turning on a light and going about your evening. But in the Jurassic, night is terrifying. There's no artificial light, only starlight, and maybe the moon if you're lucky. Predators are on the move. You hear rustling in the bushes, the low guttural growl of something large. You can't see it, but it can definitely smell you. You try to stay quiet, maybe hide in a tree or behind a fallen log. Your heart is pounding. You haven't eaten, you haven't slept, and every nerve in your body is screaming, "Get out." If you survive the first night, congratulations. You're doing better than 99% of us would. But now you've got to face the second day. And the heat is brutal. The Jurassic was hot. There were no ice caps, global temperatures were warmer than today, and the humidity in many areas would be unbearable for someone used to air conditioning. You're sweating, you're dehydrated, and you're still not any closer to finding food. Let's say you decide to get bold. You start walking. Maybe you think you'll find water or shelter or a place to hide, but you quickly realize how massive everything is. The plants tower over you, the terrain is uneven, muddy, full of sharp rocks and hidden roots. And don't forget the bugs, giant prehistoric insects that won't hesitate to bite or sting you. You haven't even encountered a dinosaur yet, and you're already nearing the end of your rope. But let's say you do run into a dinosaur. Maybe it's a sauropod, a massive 70-foot-long plant-eating Brachiosaurus. It's not interested in you, but even being close to one of these creatures is dangerous. One wrong step, and you're a human pancake. Or maybe you're not so lucky. Maybe it's a predator, something like an Allosaurus. Not quite as big as the T-Rex, but still about 30 feet long, fast, and built for killing. You freeze. It sees you, and now it's curious. You try to run, but you're not faster. You can't climb, you can't hide, and you can't fight. The truth is, humans are not built for surviving in a world like this. We don't have claws, we don't have armor, we're soft, slow, and extremely edible. Surviving on land doesn't guarantee safety. Meet the Machimasaurus. Even if you manage to avoid predators like Allosaurus on land, the water holds even more terrifying threats. One of them is Machimasaurus, a massive crocodile-like reptile that could reach up to 30 feet in length. With its powerful jaws and crushing bite force, it didn't care if you were prey on land or trying to cross a river. If you got too close to the water's edge, Machimasaurus could lunge out and drag you in before you even had time to scream. Now in that period, for a human like you, climbing a tree might seem like a smart escape, but in the Jurassic era, that's only a temporary illusion of safety. The skies were ruled by pterosaurs, giant flying reptiles with wingspans reaching over 30 feet in some species. These aerial hunters had sharp beaks and strong claws, and if they spotted you hiding among the branches, they could swoop down and snatch you with terrifying precision.
Mommy!
And if the dinosaurs don't get you, disease might. Your immune system has never encountered the kinds of bacteria and viruses that existed millions of years ago. Even a minor cut could lead to a fatal infection. You wouldn't even make it a week before something, whether it's predator, pathogen, or simple dehydration, takes you out. So, how long would you survive? Realistically, maybe a few hours. A day or two if you're extremely lucky. A week if you're an expert in survival, incredibly resourceful, and blessed with good luck. But even then, what's the end game? There's no one coming to rescue you, no time machine, no society to rebuild. Just endless jungle, giant monsters, and your rapidly declining health. But here's the strange part. Despite the danger, the Jurassic Period was one of the most beautiful, vibrant times in Earth's history. Giant forests, towering beasts, a world untouched by humans. So maybe you wouldn't last long, but for a few moments, you'd witness a world beyond imagination. A world that existed long before us, and will continue long after we're gone.